welcome to another episode of the 2A Report. I am your host, Flint Green, and today we will be going over schedule predictions for the 2024-2025 season. Again, the 2A Report covers Macon County, Chattahoochee County, Greenville, Central Tarleton, Taylor County, Callaway, High School, Upson, Sumter County, Harris County, Marion County, Flint River, Manchester, Schley County, and Pike County sports. Disclaimer for any new viewers: our evaluations or opinion has no determination on your team's success or your individual success. All thoughts and views are strictly based off of observation from our attendance at your games. Any questions, concern, our contact email is in the bio. Leave us a comment. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this video with your teammate so you can let them know that I think you're going to have a successful season. Starting off with our first school, we will be in Central of Tarleton. First up, they play STEM Charter. I think the Hawks get that win. Next game, they travel to Calhoun County. I think Calhoun comes out on top of that one. Next game, they're back at home. I think that they beat Rock Springs. On 9/20, they play Atkinson County at home. I think the Hawks get away with a win in that game. On 9/27, they travel to Crawford County. I think they lose that one. I think they lose against Chattahoochee County on 10/4. On 10/1. On 10/11, they play at home versus Taylor County. I think Taylor County gets the best in that game. On 10/18, they will host Schley County. I think the Wildcats get away in that game. On 10/25, they travel to Macon County. I think Macon County comes out with a win in that game. And for the last game of the regular season, they will host Marion County. I will take Marion in that game. So to recap: loss versus Marion, loss versus Macon, a loss versus Schley, a loss versus Taylor, a loss versus Chattahoochee, a loss versus Crawford, a loss versus Calhoun. For the wins: STEM Charter, Rock Springs, Atkinson County. Again, our thoughts and opinion have no direct impact on your season. Good luck to the Hawks, and we'll see them several times this year. Next up, we have the Eagles of Marion County. They open up the season at home versus Hawkinville. I think the Eagles start off with a win in that one. Next game, they travel to First Pedestrian. I think they get a second win at that one. Next up, they travel to Southland Academy. I think they keep it going. Start out the season 3-0. They come back home to face Miller County. I think they take their first loss of the year versus them. I think they take another loss versus Taylor County. I think they bounce back on the road at Chattahoochee. And I think they get another win when they come back home versus Crawford County. I think Next game, they host Macon County. Macon County will be rolling by this time of the year, so I think the Bulldogs will get away with the win in that one. 10:25, they will face Schley County in Wildcat territory, so I'm going to pick Schley County in that one. And for the last game of the year, they travel to Central Tarleton. I think they get the win in that one. So to recap, win at Central, loss at Schley. Macon County beats them at home. Crawford County, they get the win versus them. I think they get the loss versus Chatco. I think they take another loss versus Taylor County. Miller County gives them a loss. They bounce back against Southland Academy. They beat First Presbyterian Day. And then I think they win versus Hawkinville. Again, our thoughts and opinion has no direct impact on your season, but good luck this year, and we'll see you guys as the season gets started. Next up, we have the Pirates from Pike County. They will take on a pretty solid schedule. First game, they are at Crawford County. I think they pick up a road win to start the season off. Next up, they will play Harrison County. I think they lose that one. After that, they play Sumter County. I think that will be their second loss in a row. After that, they have Greenville in Greenville. That will be loss number 3 in a row. They then travel to Mount Zion on 9/20. That will be loss number 4. After Mount Zion, they return back home to host Callaway. That will be loss number 6. They then host Jackson. I think Jackson comes out on top in that game. They travel to Westside. I see Westside coming away with a win in that one. They then play Morgan County back at home for their last home game of the year. I think they pick up a win versus Morgan County. And to finish up the season, they travel to Rutland. And I think they lose versus Rutland. So, to recap the wins. Win versus Morgan County. And a win versus Crawford County. Losses at Harrison County, Sumter, Greenville, Mount Zion, Callaway, Jackson, Westside. Let me know what you think in the comment. Again, my opinion has no direct impact on your season, but good luck, and we will see you 3 times this year. All right, now for Chattahoochee County. I almost got a little ahead of myself. They will open up the season at Mount Zion. I think they get a win. They play Seminole County after that. I think they get another win on the road. Next game, they will face Jordan at home. I think they get another win in that one. For their first loss of the season, it will come at home versus Schley County. They will lose again at Macon County on 9/20. After that, they return back home to face Marion County. I think there will be a real tight game again, but I like Marion County. Next up, they bounce back with a win versus Central Tarleton. I think this Taylor County game on 10-18 will be a tight one. They will be at home, but Taylor County should be good this time of the season. Taylor County, not by much. They host STEM Charter. After that, on 10-25, I think they get a win on that one. And they get on the road on 11-1 versus Crawford County. I think they get a win in that one. So to recap, win at Crawford, win at STEM Charter, win at Seminole, win at Mount Zion. Losses the rest of the way. Again, our opinion has no direct impact on your season. Good luck this year, and we will see you guys 3 times this year also. All right, so for our next team, we travel to Viking Country to Taylor County High School. They open up with Jasper County. I think they get the first win of the year versus Jasper County. Next up, Wheeler County will be a tough game, but I think they start off 2-0 at home. They get their first road win of the season on the road at Georgia Military. Next up, they host Montgomery County. I think that will be their first loss of the season. After that, they travel to Marion County. I think they get a win versus Marion. Next up, they travel to Schley County. I think the Wildcats take care of business in that one. 10-11, they travel to Central Tarleton. I think they get a win in Tarleton. On 10-18, they'll travel to Chattahoochee County. I think they get another win in that game. And for 11-1, they will host Macon County. That will be a loss for them in a close one. So, again, loss versus Macon County, win versus Crawford County, win versus Chattahoochee, win versus Central, loss versus Schley, loss versus Marion, loss versus Montgomery County. Another win at Georgia Military, another win at Wheeler, and another win at Jasper. Again, our opinion, our view, our thoughts have no direct impact on your team's performance, but we will see you play full time this year. Good luck this season. For our next team, we travel to Americus, Georgia, to Sumter County, home of the Panthers. The first game of the season, they will be at Chris County. I think they open up the season with a win in that one. Next game, for the first home, they will host Griffin. I think that will be their first loss. They bounce back on the road with a win against Pike County. Next up, they will play Kendrick. I think they get another win versus Kendrick. They travel to Shaw after that on 9-20. That's going to be a tough game. Hopefully, they come away with a win. But I see Shaw very close over the Panthers in this one. Next up on 9/26, they will beat Jordan. On 10/4, they will host Spencer. I like Spencer in that game. On 10/17, Carver will make the trip. They will make the trip to Carver. I think Carver comes away with the win in that one. 10/25, they will play Hardaway. They get the win in that game. And to close out the regular season, 11/1, they will play Columbus at home. I think they get a win in that one. So, win versus Columbus, Hardaway, loss at Carver, loss versus Spencer, win at Jordan, loss versus Shaw, wins at Kendrick, Pike, and Chris County. Another loss at Griffin. If we are wrong, I am sorry, I apologize, but our opinion had no direct impact on your team performance. So, let me know what you think in the comment. If you think I'm wrong, let me know which game, and we'll come back and address it. Right now, I will only be doing prediction. I will not give you no evaluation, analysis, or reason why I'm picking these teams. That will be the week before school starts. So, bear with me. All right, next up, we are in Bulldog Country for Macon County High School. They will open up versus Southwest. They kick off the season with a win. Next up, they travel to Lakeside. They get their second win in a row. 9/6, they host Manchester. Big game. If it's dry, I like I like Manchester in the game. As I said like that. 9/20, they play Chattahoochee County. Another win versus them. 9/27, they play Schley County. This late in the season, Macon County should be getting ready to make their run. I believe they trip up Schley County at home. 9/27. Mark me on that one. Macon County over Schley County, 9/27 at home. 10/18 versus Marion County, they get the win. 10/25 versus Central, they get the win. 11/1 versus Taylor County, they get the win to finish out the regular season. So, wins versus Taylor, Central, Marion, Schley, Chattahoochee, Lakeside, and Southwest. The only loss I see for them is that Manchester game. Again, my opinions are simply my opinions. Let me know what you think in the comment. If you think I'm wrong on game, let me know which game in particular, and I address that in the next video. Again, I am simply just going through picks. Next up, we have the Patriots of Greenville. I think that this will be a big turning point for Greenville this year. This should be a season that the fans will remember. Starting off, opening night, they will host Calhoun. That will be a tough game, but I like Greenville to come out with the win in that one. 8/23, they play Columbus. I like Greenville to find a way to win versus them at home. 8:30, they will play Hardaway at home. I think they find a way to win in that one. 9/6, they will host Pike County. I think this will be 4-0 Greenville at this point. 9-13, they will host Lynette. Some kind of way, Lynette trips them up. I'm not sure how yet, but I like Lynette in that game. 9-27, they get back in the win column versus Mount Zion. 10-4, they will play Carver, Birmingham. I think they get the win versus them in that game. 10-18, it's a tough game versus Tryon. I think the referee take the game from Green. Matter of fact, don't let me say that. I think something happens late in the game where a flag determines the game. 10-25, they travel to Bowden. I think Bowden comes away with the win in that one. And for the last home game and regular season game of the year, 11-1, they will play Manchester. It will be a good game the first half, but I think Manchester finds a way to win down the stretch. So to recap, loss at Manchester, loss at Bowden, loss at Tryon. Central Birmingham win versus Mount Zion. Tricky loss versus Lynette, another win versus Pike County, Hardaway, Columbus, and Calhoun. Again, my opinion has nothing to do with the outcome of your season. Good luck this year. We will see the Patriots 3 times this year also. Moving right along, next up we are in Ellerville, Georgia for the Wildcats. The Wildcats will have a rocky season this year. Nothing personal. I love y'all to death, you know it. But I just think this one of them years where things go your way, but who knows? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Starting off the season, they get a win on the road at Seminole County. Next up, they get a win versus Hawkinsville. I see Irwin County, 8:30, giving the Wildcat their first loss at home. I see Early County coming right behind that with another loss on the road, putting the Wildcats at 2-2 through the first 4 games. They bounce back at Chattahoochee County. They bounce back against Crawford. This 9-27 game, again, will be tricky, but I like Macon County in this one. They finish out the season with 3 more wins. I think they beat Taylor. I think they beat Central. And I think they beat Marion. The Wildcats should make a deep playoff run. Not sure what side of the bracket they will be on just yet, but I think that will play a huge part in playoff scenario. So to recap, a win at versus Marion, win versus Central, win versus Taylor, loss versus Macon County, win versus Crawford, win versus Chattahoochee, win versus Hawkinsville, win versus Seminole County. 2 more losses come at the hands of Early County and Irwin County. Again, my opinion has nothing to do with your team performance. But I will be there just like I was last year and the year before that. So let me know what you think in the comment. If I'm wrong, let me know what game, and I'll make sure I address that on our countdown to kickoff, episode. All right. For our next predictions, we travel to Hoganville, Georgia, to the home of the Cavaliers at Callaway High School. They open up the season with a loss versus Cass. Nothing personal. Another loss on 8:30 at Opelika. They get a win versus Cook. They get another win at Columbia. They get another win at Redan. 9:27, they get a win at Pike County. They get a win on 10-3 at Westside. They get another win at 10-11 at versus Rutland. Not sure about Jackson. They were kind of shaky last year. I think they got that defensive line right this year, so it could be a close game, especially this late in the season. I think Callaway comes out on top in that one. And for the last game of the year, 11-1, I think they beat Morgan County. So to recap, win versus Morgan, win versus Jackson, win versus Rutland, win versus Westside, win versus Pike County, win versus Redan, win versus Columbia, win versus Cook. Losses, Opelika, and Cass. Again, these are just my opinions. They have no direct impact on your season, but we will see you 3 times this year. Let me know what you think in the comment if you think I got a game wrong, and we'll be sure to address that in the next episode. Next up, we have the most successful team out of the 2A report last season, the Flint River Wildcats from Woodbury, Georgia. They had a perfect season last year, capturing another state championship, and I don't see any reason why they don't repeat the same exact way. I don't see anybody stopping the Wildcats. They have done an excellent job replacing all of the quality seniors they lost last year, plus the key underclassmen. They start off at home versus Gatewood. I like the Wildcats in that. They will beat Banks County after that. They will play they will play their first game on the road versus Skipstone. This will be a close one, but I think the Wildcat pull it off. Next up, they beat Central Fellowship. Next up, 9-13, they get the win versus Calvary Christian. On 9-20, they will travel to Domino Christian. They beat them. A win versus Cross Keys comes on 9-27. Another win versus Windsor Academy on the road on 10-11 versus Windsor Academy. Next up, they play the hardest game of the season, I think, versus a very good Heritage team. They are young, but they will make the Wildcats fight for it. I like them in that. And they close out the season 10-25 versus Rock Spring. Again, I like the Wildcats to go undefeated. Don't take my word for it. Make sure you keep your eyes open this year, as I think the Wildcats surprise everyone yet again. All right, so next up, we travel to Tiger Country, to Harris County High School. Last year, the Tigers surprised a lot of people, not me. I picked them. Actually got one game wrong last year, so I really was happy with their performance, and I'm happy with how good of a job they have done moving their seniors on to the next level. So First up, they play Manchester in Manchester. I think this is going to be a very, very interesting game. Not only because of how early in the season it is, but to get an understanding of the coaching staff mind, I'm not sure how much action seniors or key players will get, especially being the first week. We may see some substitution. We may see some shuffling in the roster. But I think Harry County comes away with the win in this game. Next up, they lose versus Troop. I think they get the win versus Carver. I'm sorry, they play both Carvers back to back. I guess I explained to it like this. This Carver is from Atlanta. The loss will come against the Carver from Columbus. They lose again at Dougherty and Jonesboro. They get win versus Northside. They get win versus Griffin. Tight game, but they win that at home. Star Mill, they get a win. Central, they get a win. And they get a tight win versus Monday Mill. So to recap, win versus Monday Mill, Central, Star Mill, Northside, Carver, Atlanta, Troop, and Manchester. Lawson, Dougherty, Northside, Monday Mill. Let me know what you think in the comment. Again, my opinion has nothing to do with the outcome of your season, but I'm usually picking out a high percentage. So let me know what you think in the comment. If you don't agree with the game, let me know which one, and I'll make sure I come back and address that. All right, now we are in Thomaston, Georgia, in night country at Upson High School. They will have a great season this year. Roster is loaded. Kids are extremely excited about the season. They're getting recruited at an extremely high level. So excited for their season. But it will be some bumps along the way. Starting off, I think they get the win at Union Grove. Next up, they travel to Manchester on 8/23. This is one of those games where I'm not sure how much or who all will play this early in the season, but the cheerleaders are coming, the band is coming, so hopefully the coaching staff digs deep and really see what they got. But I think Manchester comes out on top in them. Next up, they play Spalding. I think they get a win in that one. I think they take another loss at Sandy Creek on 9/13. They bounce back with a win at Whitewater. They take another loss versus Mary Person. Mary Person will be a thorn in their side again this year. They get the win versus Troop. They beat Fayetteville County. They beat Trinity Christian. And to finish out the season, they will play a tough LaGrange team at home, but I think they get the win. So to recap, win at LaGrange, win at Trinity Christian, win at Fayetteville, win at Troop, loss at Marion, win at Whitewater, loss at Sandy Creek, win at Spalding, loss at Manchester, win at Union Grove. Let me know what you think in the comment. I will see the Knights 3 times this season, maybe 4. I have to double check with another sponsor, but as of right now, I will see the Knights 3 times again this season. Moving right along. All right, for our last and final team, we are in Manchester, Georgia, home of the Blue Devils. They had a state championship loss last season at the hands of Bowden by 1 point. But hopes are high. The Blue Devil fans are excited to get started this season. Starting off the year, they take a loss versus Harry County. Again, this is one of those games where I say I'm not sure what each coaching staff will do, who will play what type of adjustment will be made. Will they dig in the bench? Who knows? I'm not sure. But if the scoreboard tell the story, I think Harry County had more points at the end of this. Next up, they host Upson. This will be a tight game, but in this game, I think the same situation, scenario, however you want to understand it, I'm not sure who, what, how, or when key player will play what position. If playbooks will be fully utilized at this time, who knows? But I see Manchester getting away in there. Next up, they travel to Macon County. This will be a tough win, but they get it on the road. They also travel to Chapel Hill on 920. I think they get the win in that one. They host Tryon on 927. Manchester will only have 3 home games this year, so they will be road warriors, and I think they finish strong as the season goes on. 10-4, they travel to Bowden. I think Bowden comes out on top in this one. They bounce back with win versus Mount Zion and Greenville on 11-1. So, to recap, Manchester, win versus Greenville, win versus Mount Zion, loss at Bowden, win versus Tryon, win at Chapel Hill, win at Macon County, win versus Upson, and loss versus Harris County. Again, my opinion has no direct impact on your season, your performance, or your team's success. So let me know what you think in the comment. I am your host, Lynn Green, and thanks for watching.